Okay, I think we're live. I'll wait a few minutes for everything to show up on my phone. Also drink some water. It's a little late. It's a little late, so I don't expect a bunch of people to be here. I'll publish the VOD regardless. Since I made half of this last night, I feel like it's not fair to just show you me making the falafel batter and not the falafel because they're so good. So, plus I have to make them anyway, so have to. I want to. They're very good. Excuse me. So yeah, as the title says, we're gonna be frying some falafel, and I'm gonna make some the Turkish version of cucumber sauce. I don't know why what makes it Turkish. That's just what the recipe says. And it's from Middle East as well. So, this is the Egyptian falafel recipe from Middle East. And then I'm going to be making the Turkish cacik, which is like the Turkish way of saying tzatziki, I guess. But Turks invented it and not Greeks. I don't want to like cause any bigger rifts than there already are. We are going to be using Greek pita for this, I think. Is it Greek? Yes, it is very Greek. Papa pita. I like that name. Papa pita. So it's just a tour of the MENA region. That's what we're doing. So, first off, I've made both these things before. So I have some tips. First of all, I'm going to cut the cucumbers on top of paper towel. Because what you have to do when you're done chopping up the cucumber is you need to just wrap it in paper towel. Because it's so juicy, you want to get all the juice out. Maybe spraying it would work. But, I mean, you don't want to get all of it. You just don't want it to be soupy. So for the Turkish cacik, I think it should be an English cucumber, but you can use salad cucumbers. And this recipe is all up on Middle East. And I'll post it, when I post the VOD on YouTube, I'll put it in the description. I've got some Greek yogurt. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Still got half a thing left. And it's just plain Greek yogurt. The best part is, since this is half a thing left, I can make the cacik and keep it in this tub. So, one less dish to wash. It takes a bunch of dried mint, and dried mint is not easy to find in like Western stores, but very easy to find in Asian grocery stores and import stores. So I didn't even think of that. Like, you could, I guess, because yeah, you can have a bunch of tea. Because I got a huge bag of dried mint, and so now I have more mint than I'm going to need for a while, which is good. So dried mint is apparently better. I think it's mellower. That's what the video says. And then, I think my favorite ingredient is fresh dill. This is fresh baby dill, I think, but it smells so good. Smell it. Right? It's like, I don't even like dill super much, but I just love the fresh smell of herbs. Let me see if I can actually, hopefully I can see my chat. If anyone's talking, I'm not gonna see it. Show chat. Okay. But yeah. This is just plain like green shit doesn't look like it should have a strong smell. And I just love green herbs. I love fresh dill. So we're gonna mince some of that and throw it in. We're going to add some salt. This is not an ingredient that we should be using, but I realize I don't have any lemon or lemon juice. So we're going to see what it's like making this with lime juice. They're all technically the same fucking plant, just different cultivars. But it is a pretty, I don't know how big of a difference it is. I don't think it's going to be bad at all, but it might be a little weird. In a good way. And then we're going to need one big ass clove of garlic, or more, and a little salt, which I keep in this old poppy seed container. And what else do we need? Olive oil. Yeah, that's it. That's really simple. Let's get a clove that I've already separated. I don't leave the skin on my cucumbers. Well, it feels dry, but it's the part with the seeds that is very moist. Alright. I just cut the skin off. I'm not super careful with it, but it is pretty thick. I wonder if it has to do with the fact that they're pickling or salad cucumbers, but I'm assuming I've never been a big fan of the skin. Cucumbers used to be like one of my favorite snacks as a kid. I didn't drink water. Like, I got all my water from fucking soda. Cola cans. Because most of the time in milk. And so a lot of my favorite snacks were just simply like other ways of getting water. And cucumber was one of those. And canned, unsalted green beans was another. That was one of my favorite snacks. I was a weird ass kid. Cucumber's really good though. You'd think it doesn't have that much flavor. And then you make it like the main star of something like this cacik. And I hope I'm saying it right. And it's like celery. You don't think that has much flavor either. But growing up, my mom used to make this like marinated celery chicken that we'd grill, and oh, it has such a good flavor. I have a peeler, a carrot peeler, but I like doing this. It's very precise. Maybe I could. This is part of the aspect of cooking that is very meditative for me. Just chopping things up and peeling things and preparing. I take so long. I mean, that's pretty clear. It took me 5 hours to make like 2 things that probably could have taken me an hour topped. Maybe like an hour and a half. So I figured that like on my first day of preschool. Like when you notice on your first day of preschool that you're way fucking different from everyone else, it's over. It's fucking over. So anyway, first day and then every single day after that, we'd all get our fucking snacks. Like our little we get like a little fruit roll up or a fruit by the foot. Or these were things that were around in the late 80s, so these are old ass snacks if you like them. Fruit roll up, fruit by the foot, and like those little cheese and cracker things. And I had to perfectly divide the cheese into 4 equal pieces and then carefully spread them on all the fucking crackers before I could eat any of them. And if the fruit roll-ups had like little pictures and stuff to punch out, and the fruit by the foot had that too sometimes, I had to punch everything out and arrange it before I could eat it. I didn't know that was weird until I was the only fucking kid sitting there with their snack like 20 minutes after everyone else was done. Every day. I mean, kudos on this teacher's caregiver sort of thing, because they didn't. I don't think I got. I mean, how do you tell a kid to like be faster with some basic task that they're learning for the first time, or they've only just started doing? So that was just weird. I don't think I got in. Like, I don't know if getting in trouble was a thing I really understood yet. Like, in preschool. I didn't understand genders either. Like, I learned that in preschool without without wanting to. Because I thought it just had to do with the hair length. Like, I thought short hair were boys and long hair were girls. And so I would just use male pronouns for my friend Emily, because Emily had short hair. And she didn't care that I called her the other pronouns, and nobody else seemed to either. And my mom was just like, no, you gotta use this. And I'm just like, what? Why? Why? And I was correct. Gender is stupid. So, abolish gender. This isn't that juicy. Surprisingly. Or at least that one wasn't. The seeds were not as developed. I think that might be why. They're bigger here, though. So let's find out. this one's a little more juicy than the other one. Still not too bad. Too much. Okay. Might be too much, but nah. It'll get really juicy when I cube it. I'm cutting it on the paper towel this time because all the other times it's a pain in the ass because you have to actually pick it up and it's very soupy on the cutting board. And then you have to put it in the paper towel and then it sticks because you're not really, it's, I don't know. We'll see if this is less of a pain in the ass. It already seems like it is. Let me get a spoon. Let's use the long ass dessert spoon. Let's see. The batter, I've fluffed the batter up, but it's already been like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And it's already sort of floating down a little bit. Or getting less fluffy, so. Yogurt, a stinky, delicious yogurt. That separates out, looks sort of gross, but blends back together really well, and is tasty. Alright. Blammo. Just dump that shit in. This still seems like way less cucumbers than they use on the video recipe, even though they say 2 salad ones. Alright. Okay. Let me make sure that I'm actually streaming. Just double check. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Everything's working. So let's get this garlic clove. Sorry about my light, it's flickering. I did put in a work order. And then they send you the text going, can you send us a picture of your problem? And it's like, okay. I just send them a picture with a light. Yeah, that's a tip that apparently a lot of people don't realize. I didn't even know it was a thing that people didn't know. I guess because, so like, if you live in an apartment and like one of your lights burns out, and it's one of the lights that's part of your apartment, it's their job to replace it. Not only just like put it in and out of the socket, but buy the light bulbs. So, but then you could, if you could just take those and put them in your regular stuff, and then say they burn out again. Free light bulb hack. Ooh. Okay. At least garlic is dense enough that if there's a little bad part, you can just cut it off. Since this isn't being cooked, I want to make sure that it's nice and fine. This fresh raw garlic is a bit of a punch. In a good way though. But still. That seems good enough. Alright. 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I guess I just gotta just completely juice this lime. sure there's a better way to do this. I think that's probably not 4. But I'd rather put too little than too much than be really sour. And then I can always add more. Okay, 1 tablespoon fresh dill. I love dill. I'm gonna mince it a lot, so I'm gonna assume this is probably gonna be like a tablespoon. This is way too much dill. It keeps pretty well in the fridge too. Finally mince it. Arguably, I could pack this into a tablespoon. Maybe more. That seems about a tablespoon's worth. Pretty much with the lemon juice and the dill, it's like and the cucumber, and the salt, it's like a pickle cucumber sauce. Like it's not, the cucumber sauce is very pickle-like, but in a good way, a dill pickle-like. Alright, 2 teaspoons dried mint. Let's turn the heat up on the oil. I turn this on like, I know there's probably a good temperature for it. Mine goes up to 10, and I put it on 5.5. Don't know if that's important or not. I have an electric stove, as you can clearly see. So, is it teaspoons of? Yes, it's 2 teaspoons. Because if you cook these falafel without at too low of a temperature, they don't fry right. They'll get like a fluffy interior, and then they'll get a crispy outer shell, and then the fluffy interior will like shrink, and there'll be big space between that and the fried shell, and it's not as good. Half a teaspoon of salt. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. One tablespoon of olive oil, and that's it. I forgot this was really easy. Bam. And then we mix it up. This is more cacik cucumber sauce or tzatziki, whatever you want to call it. This is more than I need. But I will still end up eating it all. Do not fear. I froze some of the last batch of the falafel powder. I think it freezes well. We'll find out. Okay, let's try this. It's good with the lime. Let's put a little more in. I think with all the other herbs and stuff, you sort of can't tell that it's a lime rather than a lemon. Though I can sort of, I can't really explain it, but it's got like a little bit different of the flavor though. I think if someone, you probably wouldn't notice unless someone told you. Or it might be, tastes a little off. Okay, now it's gonna get loud again. So I've already fluffed this up a lot, but it's already sat here a little bit. So we're gonna have to fluff it up again. While the oil heats. Alright, cover your ears. Fluff it up. You can actually see the difference in color between the fluffed up and the still not fluffed up. It's much darker because it's denser. Once everything starts moving around really fast, I'd rather have the oil be too hot when I first throw them in than too cool. I can always toss them back in if they're too, like if they brown quicker than they can cook in the middle. I can just let them cool and fry them a second time. Speaking of which, I need to set up a drying rack for all of my fried falafels. Actually, I could probably put it up here. Where's my little thing? Don't want to dump that fucking hot oil. Holy shit. Alright. So I just make a makeshift little oil mat with a cookie rack, or yeah, a cookie cooling rack. Alright, I'm gonna go open some more windows. It's getting toasty. to cook, you don't need to actually turn the heating on in your kitchen, because it's already warm enough just from the heating element. That was the one problem when I lived somewhere without air conditioning, or here without air conditioning. I like want to cook something, but the only things I have to cook are in the oven, and it's like 90 degrees in here. And I'm like, no, I will die. I will die. And then I still make it, because I'm a dumbass. And I almost died. Toast the pita, but I don't want to break it up, and it won't fit in my toaster otherwise. So I have a plan. Bam. Uh-oh. It's catching on fire. Okay, that's too toasty. No one saw that. No one saw that. I'm not doing this on camera. Oh my god. Oh. It's not quite like roasting a jalapeno, I guess. Alright. Just, I guess if I cut it in half, it'll fit in my toaster. I don't want to I don't want it to be crispy though. Isn't there supposed to be a hole in the middle of this motherfucker? Like, isn't there supposed to be a pocket? What the fuck kind of pita is this? Why did I cut it in half then? Why is there a pocket? Do I have to like toast it for the pocket to open up? Maybe? I don't want to toast it like crispy wise. Oh wait. Do I have to bake it? What's going on here, Greek pita? What's going on here, Papa Pita? Why do your pitas not have pockets? They show them on the front. Is that not a pocket? Is it just two pita on top of one another? Because you're liars. Papa Pita. I'm so disappointed in you. I guess you have to cut it yourself. It doesn't seem big enough. Guess I can. Doing a great job. That's better. No, there's a big hole in the bottom. Alright, let's see. Let's see how this toasty asshole's doing. Nope, it's not opening up. What are the pita secrets to make the pocket? Did I just pick the wrong pita? Did Papa Pita screw me over? This one's too hot to touch. I can't cut it, it's hot. Oh, wait a second. This is a big speed bump. Not gonna lie. Okay, toasting it makes it a little easier to cut the middle. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Then it makes the outside stiff. Alright, here we go. Not gonna be able to fit too much in there, but better than nothing. This one's not gonna be as good. I'll toast it a little bit. Alright, time to fluff up the batter one more time before frying it. I want to cut this onion up. I want some slices of onion on my grill, or my pita. Big ass onion. Messy workspace, and it's starting to slow me down a little. That should be enough. Probably more than enough. Don't get caught in the toaster now. Alright, this pita's a little better too. Whew. Toasty. Alright, just put this in the garbage pile on the side. Don't think I'm gonna need this anymore. Let these dry overnight, and then I can toss them in the garbage without them being all moist and smelling. And let's get this in the bag. Oh, I also want to put feta cheese on this. Okie doke. Alright. Now these little guys cook fast. And I still can't get the temperature just perfect, so we'll see how it goes. But it's been heating for a while. It should be up to temp. Alright. Cover your ears. the top half is whipping around almost as fast as the bottom half, that's when you know it's all fluffy. Should be enough. Give me a second. Alright. So we got the pita, still warm. I just like hair off of my head. Got the onion. That over. Now I need to get tongs to pull them out and a spoon to baste them. And one thing that's important that I've noticed, that I'm sure a lot of people know, but make sure that your stuff, your cooking utensils when you're frying aren't wet from washing recently. Like, they don't have any water on them, because the second even a minute amount of water goes in that oil, it just starts spattering everywhere, and then you burn the shit out of yourself. No reason, I don't know that for any major reason or anything. So, and apparently, like, these really like to fluff up fast, is what they say in the video as well. Like, they puff up in here. And so what you want to do is spoon oil over the tops of them so it sort of creates a crust before they could sort of crack open. So that's the ideal sort of shape. And the fluffier the batter and the warmer the oil, or the more appropriately heated the oil is, the better it will be. He has a fancy way of making them in the video, and then he shows how to make them a simple way, and I prefer the simple way. The fancy way is you like sort of shape them in between two pieces of parchment paper or wax paper. I have a hard time making those fast enough before they sort of deflate. So, I use this little ice cream scooper, or just scooper. So, I'm obsessive compulsive, and I need to do this one more time. Just to be safe, you know? That's pretty much what an OCD is. I just gotta do it 20 times, just in case. I think it was a good choice. When it comes to the food I eat, I can't be too careful, you know, because it's my food, and I like food a lot, especially when I make it and it's good. So, now you know. Alright. So I'm probably not going to be able to narrate too much. So you're just going to have to watch. I think I'll make 4. And baste them. Not tip them over. Nice and fluffy though. I did it right. I think they should be. I love how green they are on the inside. I love the difference in color between the nice dark brown and the nice light green. So don't use metal cooking implements with your non-stick cookware unless you're really fucking careful. I'm not though, but I don't have any. I'd rather use my tongs than not. It's working out alright though. That one's starting to break a little, so let's flip it. Let's flip these babies. Oop, I touched it. Hot, 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 hot. You have to hold this one up a little bit. It's too tall. It's not really deep frying, it's chill frying. It's sitting on its side. Come on, stop being too tall to fry. I have to hold this motherfucker. Yeah, they still need a minute more. I'm just gonna hold it. I got the temperature of the oil right. These look fluffy and hopefully they haven't shrunk on the inside. The oil does lower in temperature once you put stuff in it though. This one is done. This one is done. This one is done. And okay, this one is done. Not gonna make too many because they're not the best. They're not the best. Like reheated the next day, but they're not the worst, and it's a better lunch than having to fry my own falafel like right when I have to want to eat. So I'm gonna make 2 more. I'm probably only gonna eat like 2 or 3 tonight. They fill the falafel pita pretty well. I really wanted to show the process of frying them because it's really pretty simple. And deep frying and shallow frying or any kind of frying I was really hesitant about it for a long time. So I sort of shallow fry in a wok because it makes me feel a little better since it's got the higher edges. But these should be fully deep fried if you have enough oil. The problem is I don't use this oil for much else, so it's sort of a waste, so I try to use less. Aren't they cute though? They make me happy. My caregiver came over today and she had to help. Like, I destroyed the kitchen last night. making everything. I cleaned up a little, and I cleaned up before she got here, but it was nice that I had some help. Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to, like, cook this stuff. Well, I would have been able to. I just had a lot of work to do before I could start this. Put this away. Flip you guys over. They're too tall. I can't help but just like crab claw clack these together whenever I have them. I would love to have like clack clickety snibbity snabbity claws. So if you find this kind of stream really cozy or anything, I'm also thinking of starting again, especially since I've been going to the library, and not just getting books from the library, but also getting books like that I buy from the library store. And there's like a lot of really obscure and old books that I think would be really fun to just read to stream. And so I like sort of like bedtime stories or things like that, or just guided readings. And I figure I can do like some popular science, and then some cute little like singular stories, or like we could go into like folk tales. There's a lot of Native American folklore that I'd like to learn about the Pacific Northwest, since I grew up in the Midwest, and then I worked in like South Dakota and Nebraska, so I'm very unfamiliar with the tribal people out here. But I want to learn. Because when I was at the Field Museum in Chicago, they have a very large Pacific Northwest section of their indigenous peoples, with like all these artifacts and stuff, and they have like a fur hut or something. Like there's like a large like built thing that you can go inside that's in the gallery itself. And so, but like I'd never been here, and that's the Pacific Northwest is one of the more sort of foreign places to me growing up as well. So it didn't really stick in my head as much as I'd liked it to. And now that I've lived here a bit, I'd like to know. I sort of always avoided the Native American history when I lived in Oklahoma for obvious reasons, because none of it was good. If you're not American, there's something that we had in our history called the Trail of Tears. And it was basically a genocidal march of the Native Americans from a bunch of tribes on the East Coast to a bunch of reservations in Oklahoma. So I don't think anyone's actually from Oklahoma. It was just sort of where they put them all. And a lot of people died on the way there. Sorry, that's not so cozy and comfy, I guess. I'm probably only gonna fit... Oops. I shouldn't have put my knife in the sink that quickly. Where's my other knife? Alright, I just have to wash it. Okay. Alright. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the fluffiness of that. The light won't go on it. There we go. Isn't that amazing? It's so good. I like that. I should turn the heat off so the oil could cool. I cut these into smaller pieces Because it looks nice to throw like a giant ass falafel in your pita, but then it's just a giant ass falafel in your pita. It's not mixed with a lot of stuff. It's just this big ball in the middle. So F that. We'll just put little put in some falafel, put in some onion, put in some cucumber. Some more falafel in there. A little more onion. Ooh, that's a lot of onion. That's fine. No, I'm gonna probably put more cucumber sauce on it afterwards. But I want it to look pretty. Some feta cheese. Put it on over this plate. Oh, this is not elegant or anything, but whatever. And I'm dumping a lot of it on the floor. Okay, let's try this. There's the pitas. That's good. I love these guys. There's not much falafel in that bite though. Let's add a little bit more. I think 1.5 is probably good for a singular pita. Yeah, here's the Egyptian falafel. It's super fluffy and light. So yeah, you fluff the batter up first, and then it puffs up even more in the oil. Just gotta make sure it's hot enough. I'm gonna make my second Sammy pita, whatever. And then I will sign off. I was thinking of maybe doing some bedtime stories tonight, but I want to eat this and relax a little bit. And I haven't done my physical therapy in 2 days, so I need to get my ass on that. This is the one with all the holes in the bottom. Never enough cheese. It's falling out of the back a little bit. Alright, let's add these extras to this one. I like onion. Haha. You thought I was out of feta cheese. Joke's on you. This is also really messy now. So I don't want to eat this on camera or even slightly off camera. This is just going to be a lot of eating noises and me lightly swearing under my breath every time I drop something on the floor. So I'm glad I got this all done though, and I streamed it. It'd be really silly to simply make the batter and then not show you the final product. So I gotta clean up. First I gotta eat my messy meal and then I'll clean up. And I can do that off camera. Okie doke. I'll let these cool a little and then I'll put them in the fridge. Alright, thanks for joining me. I'll post the VOD and I'll publish it on YouTube. So I'll put the recipes in the description. Alright, thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking this out if you're watching the VOD. Please like, follow, and subscribe. I hopefully will be doing some more streams now that I'm a little bit better. Alright, bye-bye.